and yeah, welcome. It's really great to see so many of you here today. As we have heard, CEO at Work has quite a bit of history. I don't want to go too much through it because we heard already many things here. This is, I believe, the seventh summer school. We have had many installations before. It started, as we have seen just a few minutes ago, in 2005 with about 100 participants. And if you look at the last installment, which was 2020, we had, I think, more than 1,000 participants that we heard, and about 400 to 500 online at any given point in time. So it happens every 4 years, and the last installment was in May 2020. But I do actually not want to talk so much about CEO at Work. We already heard about that. Just 1 second. Is it working? Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to talk about that, but I rather would like to talk a little bit about SIP, which is hosting CEO at Work here this year. All right. So SIP in a nutshell. So as I said, I don't want to take up too much of your time. So what is SIP? SIP is a research institute, and we are organized around what we refer to as computational thinking. So that means that we have various things coming together. And first and foremost, which is also very deeply ingrained in the DNA of SIP, we have model-based simulation and optimization. And then over the last few years, this has been complemented and enhanced by what we refer to as learning from data, which is basically what you have seen in many cases. You want to enhance these methods that we know by taking data into account. This could be by machine learning, but also by more, let's say, statistics-driven techniques in terms of improving optimization methods. And then last but not least, this is complemented by high-performance computing. As some of you might know, we host a supercomputer here in the basement. I'm going to talk a little bit about this also later. And we try to build efficient algorithms that run at scale to solve industry-relevant problems. So what this means is that that's basically the methodology foundation. When you go a little bit outside and look in terms of the applications that we're looking at, and then there's many applications in life sciences, mobility, energy, materials, and many, many more. On the one hand, on the other hand, we have what we call transfer into industry. We also heard this just a few minutes ago, that there's it's CEO at Work and not CEO at in academia. So the focus here is really to bring algorithms into industry and solving industry-related problems. And then last but not least, this is complemented what we call research services. And these are things such as supercomputing services, services around libraries, digitalization, storing, and archiving data, and many, many more. All right. So in terms of applications, there's a wide spectrum of things that we are looking at these days. There's things such as medicine, and we're talking about designing new painkillers with AI. We talk about mobility, energy, nanotechnology, artificial intelligence, sustainability, and many, many more. And we try to work on these things in what we refer to as an end-to-end fashion. That means on the one hand, we start with methodology and new ideas, and then at the very other end of the spectrum, there's an actual application where we try to have an impact. Good. So in terms of size, just to give a rough idea how large SIP is, these numbers are from 2022. So at that time, we had about, give or take, depending on how you count, around 300 people in the house at any given point in time. A large fraction of those are what we call full-time equivalents, so researchers that are at the house, but also many research partners, students, postdocs, and so on and so forth. And yeah, so that's just to give you a bit of an idea what the size is. We have many, many industry partners, just so that you see a few of the logos. I'm sure you recognize some of them. And what is of particular importance here, which is also one of the sponsors of CEO at Work, is the Research Campus Modal. And the Research Campus Modal is basically one of the main vehicles that we have to transfer algorithmic innovation that we have in simulation, in optimization, in artificial intelligence into application context. And that happens via so-called labs. We have an energy lab that looks into energy-related applications, a mobility lab that looks into mobility-related applications, and so on and so forth. And then there's two labs here on the right that you can see, the HPC lab and the SYN lab. These are cross-sectional labs. They basically provide the methodology that is the basis for the innovation in the respective application context. Good. That's basically on the research campus modal front. Then another thing that is quite important for us is the supercomputing part. There we have it's called NHR. I don't want to go too much into detail, but think of this as basically being a national high performance computing initiative. And we are one of these 8 locations that run one of the supercomputers for the German government. And then members of universities can do their computations there, but we also do research in that area, basically to come up with new algorithms that are energy efficient or most beneficially use supercomputing for research. Good. So that's almost it. Just as a general reminder, if you guys are looking for a job and you're interested in things that we're doing here, feel free to talk to any of the people that are organizing this event. We are basically looking at people on all levels, be it bachelor's, master's levels, be it PhD level, postdocs, internships, you name it. Just let us know and we are happy to hear from you. And that's almost it. Last but not least, of course, I would like to thank all the organizers, and there are many of them, and of course also the sponsors and all the speakers and breakout session organizers. That's it. Thanks a lot and welcome again.